Yeah, well, 3 years ago I Googled lean and I didn't know anything about it. Quite quickly I found this new idea that you don't have to be certain what you're doing, you have to try, and you don't know what happens before you have tried it. So it became a series of experiments and learning, and this was one of the big changes in mental models, that you can try and make mistakes and then learn and then try again, and then it started to go forward and we had results. Well, it didn't take long when we used or tried the first tools, and people said this is nice, can you find something similar and more, and they gave positive feedback. At the time I didn't understand why it worked, but it seemed to work, and people started to talk to each other more and collaborate more, and the feeling was more positive. So it has been really difficult, but I have given them books. For example, This is Lean, and then we had these training sessions. But maybe the most effective has been when they started to try themselves, and then they saw the results and had the feeling of what it felt like to work differently. And so I'm trying to make first people to try it and then have their own experiments, and then we can talk why it worked. And new knowledge from outside the company, and then trying, and then coaching, discussing, and then new knowledge. It's something like that. Yeah, well, if at first in the traditional way everybody's doing his job alone, now we have these daily meetings. And they are stand-up meetings in front of the visual boards. They give support and have support from colleagues. They discuss problems, process problems, not necessarily technical problems, but why this takes so long, why there is more working process today than a week ago. So what we discuss with each other is totally different what it was beforehand. And it's more fun too. There are jokes and all that which didn't exist 3 years ago. So it's much more fun. Well, it has totally changed. The way I do my work and the daily habits I have are totally different. I have these coaching sessions. I go to Gemba, I go and see what happens in teams. I go to the IT service providers. I try to really understand what's happening. Instead of giving answers, I try to ask questions. There used to be a queue in front of my door of people with problems, and they wanted me to answer them. And I thought that was my job, and I really enjoyed it. I was good at it. But nowadays, if someone comes to me, I have this problem, I start to think what would be a good question to help him to think differently or find a way of thinking out of it. So, and then I do also try to facilitate collaboration between IT and business units. I'm not so interested in what the result is, the people, but I'm interested in the process, and I insist on that you need to use this method and process to collaborate. So I totally am interested in different things than what I was. Yes, well, when I started I didn't know much, so it was kind of hard to give direction when you didn't even know yourself where you're going. So it was quite a difficult journey at first. Nowadays it would be much easier. I could have confidence to say this is worth doing and I know what I'm doing. At first I didn't know what I was doing. I was believing the guys who had done it before in other companies, and I trusted them and that's what I believed what they had done. So the challenge is to make people really change their behavior. They have to change, not just act that they understand. You have to see the behavior change, and that's really hard. Yeah, I would start the kata coaching right away. I didn't know of that at winning, but now I would start it right away, and then I would use the statistical process control metrics for what we did, and I would probably want to make it even more pace, in a quicker pace, making people try things. Now when I know that it really works. I was waiting for results before the next phase. Now when I know it works, I could make it in a quicker pace.